Hello, YouTube. Been a little while. I say a little while like it's not been 5 years, but you know, sometimes a guy's doing stuff, like a bunch of stuff. And I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. Let's move these deer parts out of the way. Don't want to be demonetized on my first one back. Anyway, how's it going? Currently, I'm replacing a hub on a Shorelander trailer. You probably didn't click on this video for that, but that's okay. I'm going to talk as I go through this because I have negative time. So I figured I'd just do something while I'm talking to you quick and maybe narrate a little of this video. So yeah, it's been a while. Life gets in the way. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. Lots of stuff going on. I've still been making, still doing stuff, just not really in direct filming and stuff like that. You only get so much time for so many things. So been doing a lot of different things. Moved quite a few times, so it just gets in the way. It gets tougher to get things done. So just haven't had time. I have been doing a lot of different designing and printing. I've got a CNC and stuff now. So this is a project, this video here, where got some property with a cabin on it. And, I'm a fan of the boom boom sticks. So this project's a little bit of that. I got at my range, it's a little bit of a hill to get down to and back up again, and I'm not exactly the most ambitious person in the world. So what I did is I ended up printing. Essentially what it is just a target holder. So I don't know how you feel about the old boomsticks. I know there's been, right now especially, due to some of the legislation and stuff and that's been introduced in these United States of Washington State, that has brought the whole 3D printing community and a little bit of the 2A community kind of together. That may not have been really present before, but anyway, this isn't quite that. Obviously, it's adjacent to it. When a project gets interesting enough to post, I will do that. I don't know if you're still around from back in the day. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if there's anything super sweet you've been doing, or if you've been remixing anything we did back in the day or anything like that. Throw it there in the comments. And I didn't have the mic on me, right? I didn't have high production value. I did it all with the cell phone. So it's just kind of how I'm probably going to roll, because I just don't have a whole lot of time to set up like a high production environment or anything. So anyway, it's good to see you. Glad I'm back, at least for a little bit. Yeah, we'll see you. All right, so I realized I didn't talk about this yet. So this is all that 3D printed that I showed you real earlier. What is going on? This is the 3D printed model I made real quick. These are Harbor Freight, just alligator clips. Pro grade 59177. Whatever. This is a bike cam lock, so for a bike seat. So that allows you to make that a little loose and then turn the position of this. Because as you can see on my range, I'm going to have to mount the pulley there to there. So it's going to be not facing me. So I'm going to have to set that in some way to be able to have this shooting lane here, right? So that's the idea there. Then you got your two spots here tie into. This is an M3. I super glued this really tight in. CA glued this in there. I think this could get modified a little better, but it is what it is. And then this is heat set into here. So this comes with that, same with like a bike lock, bike seat lock on the left side. you have that circular nut. That's actually heat set into the PLA. So hopefully it's not going anywhere. This is all a moot point, you know, when I go through, I'm gonna shoot this, I'm sure. So I'm gonna have to print these a lot of times, but at least it's, you know, $2 in filament and saves me from having to make that trek down the hill back up in 2 feet of snow. So I'll put it together, I'll show you. Come here, come on, let's go. Me and Wads are out here getting this set up. So it's Wisconsin, so we got like a 6-foot snow berm here. And what I did is I put just a pulley. This is just like a cheap Amazon workout pulley. The pulley's out of it. I just lagged it in to the back of the shed here. And then there's a straight shot to that big tree right there. And so that's where I'm going to put the carriage out. And then I'm going to lag in another pulley. I'll show you that in a second. All right, let's go. This is the reason I am trying to put this up, because this is not exactly an easy walk to the targets. Wadsworth seems to be doing a better job than I am. Well, that's okay. So what this is this is a freak athlete bench mount, but I bent it out to fit around this tree. I'm not using this. I modified my Rep Nighthawk with a bolt leg extension. Anyway, doesn't really matter. It's just going to be a pulley, so then it's a direct shot back to the shed there to run the clothesline. So I'm going to put this together and then I'll show you. So I got this lagged in. This little Black & Decker can't get this one all the way in. That's like an 8-inch lag, but it'll hold it enough. These are like 1.5s, just some I had left over, so whatever. But the tree seems to be still alive. A lot of times they'll die quick. These are aspens anyway, so they just, I don't know, they don't handle it much. But this was put in 2 years ago, and you can see it growing around the steel already, so it's handling it enough. So this is in a good 4 inches, so it'll be fine. I'll just, you know, it's just got to hold the weight of the line anyway, so nothing huge. Wadsworth is clearing brush. Good job, bud. Okay, I got the 2 ends tied here because that's how far I got with one of these groups of rope. Bundle of this 3/16 polypropylene. I don't know. It's gonna last what it's gonna last, you know. So there we go. I got the first connection done. This is just like a RIT fit aluminum pulley from, you know, standard lift some weights in your garage kind of thing. So that's just tied directly to one side of the carriage. I'm going to tie that other one into the one side and then the other loop to the other end of that side. Wadsworth clearing brush again. So getting those red maple tips. Apparently they're pretty good. All right, it took a little while to get this set up, but I finally got it kind of working. I'll show you. Takes a little bit to get her here, but it'll come. You know me, I'll probably motorize this joker. Did have to connect those two together here with this one. But it's enough to work. So you'll see a little hang up here. It rolls over the pulley just fine. But to keep these two together, you'll see it as it climbs up here. You'll see it hit a bump. That's because there's a carabiner on there that's hitting it. But it rolls pretty well over it. I'll show you what the actual carry. A little slower doing this one hand. But just to keep it upright a little bit, I got that carabiner on top there. So then it hugs the top line to the bottom, so it keeps it upright a little bit more. But then you can set this to whatever angle of the dangle you want, you know. So I'll set this pretty perpendicular to where I'm standing. Put this up, lock it into place so it don't move. And then I can send it back down there. And then it's good to wherever you want to shoot from, right? If I was shooting from here, then I'd set it back a little bit different. You can tell I got the good backstop there. So at any spot on here, I can stop it at my yardage from where I'm shooting. So like that'd be about 10. Keep it going. Get out to 15, blah, blah, blah. And it'll hold it. Works really good without a cardboard backer when there's no wind. But when the wind goes, it does blow around a little bit. So if you're doing like precision stuff, it'd probably be a little bit rough. But for this, it's not bad. So I can set it kind of by where those other targets are. Still got plenty of backdrop for it. But at least now it's sitting, you know, about at 15 or so yards. And then I can go back a little further with it. And then that way, when I go to my shooting position, it's not going to hit that steel. So like this is my normal shooting position, so you can see the steel there, and it's way left of that. So should be good to go. I might have to adjust it a little bit more perpendicular to me, but all right. I'll show you what it looks like after some groups. We won't talk about that. Yeah, so I'm just going to record the outro here because I'm that lazy. If you can notice, I didn't tighten any of these down yet even. I didn't even move. It's been 10 seconds later. It's probably been like 6-7 minutes for you, but it's been like 10 seconds. I'm just going to, full transparency here. Those aren't torque to spec. I'm going to set it down torque to spec. Don't worry. So then I think that's probably going to be one of the only real major changes I do. Maybe printing at 100% infill too, instead of just, you know, the 10% or whatever I did for the prototype. But otherwise it works pretty well. As long as those clips from Harbor Freight stay cheap, I think it's a viable deal if you got like a hard area, wooded area to get down into and back to retrieve your targets, especially if you're, you know, checking group size and you're actually doing like the range info and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a goofy, fun project. Let me know what you think down in the old doobly-doo. And till the next one, keep your amps up, your filament dry.